You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth's he doing here? Well, these things are usually on the street. Oh, feel it. Feel it, you feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
Earth Station Who, a fun mashup celebrating nearly 50 years of the Doctor Who universe. Hold tight. You never know where the TARDIS is going next.
Blossom, yes, Blossom. That's the only sad thing. I want to know what happens next. Right then. Doctor whoever I'm about to be. Tag. You're it.
When are these teeth? What? What?
Hey there, Whovians, and welcome to another episode of the Earth Station Who podcast. This time we are going back to the 10th Doctor era. That's right. We are looking at Dr. Donna. That's right. We are going to season 4 of Doctor Who, and it's going to be a lot of fun, actually. We have not actually done the Doctor's daughter. And, you know, it's a wibbly wobbly.
It doesn't sound right.
I know it does not sound right. It doesn't sound right, especially when
We haven't, but
way.
David Tennant has.
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting. He married his own daughter, so. And I'm sure we'll be joking about this quite a bit during this episode. And as you can hear, we have, of course, Miss Mary Ogle is here.
Hi, everybody. It is fantastic to be here.
And Mr. Mike Gordon is here, too.
Howdy.
He's being a little more reserved on the jokes about
trying to
He's trying to classy it up.
trying to climb my way out of the toilet.
Well, we've been doing this for way too long. We've been
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 seconds in and I already went there.
Hey, you know, it's a fun thing that we're, you know, going to talk about tonight. And I haven't seen this one, I think, since the first time it aired. I think it wasn't that I disliked this one, but I just never went back and watched it for some reason.
Did we review this on our Station 1?
I don't think we did.
Wow. I find it hard to believe. I think it's been a long time since I've seen it, that's for sure. I don't know how many times I saw it back, you know, when it first came out or whatever, but probably a couple. But yeah, this was... It brought a lot of things back, that's for sure.
I think on Earth Station 1, we started with the beginning of the Matt Smith era. We didn't.
Maybe. But then we danced around.
We did dance around a little bit, but I don't think we did this one.
Gotcha.
Because
it's good we're doing it now then.
Exactly. And that's actually interesting because there's a few from this season that I didn't rewatch, you know, so this will be fun when we go back to do more of these, because we haven't done this. I don't think we've done the Sontaran episode. We haven't done the episode.
Haven't done the Agatha Christie one either.
No, Agatha Christie we didn't do. We didn't do the Ood one. So I think the only ones we've done is the, of course, Partners in Crime, and I think we've done.
It's amazing the lack of Donna episodes we've done.
Yeah, we need to go back and do these.
Well, hopefully
Donna's awesome.
We'll try to get a lot of these done actually before she returns for the 60th anniversary. And actually, it's a great segue to jump into because we got some news for the 60th anniversary specials.
Woohoo!
We actually got titles of the episodes, and we got a mini trailer. So it's, it's interesting to see what we got. And, we're still under the assumption that it's Dr. 14, David Tennant. And of course, then we have Donna with him. And so we don't know if they're together in all 3 episodes or if they build towards her joining with him. I'll be very curious to see, what they're going to be doing with it. But the titles we got were The Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder, and The Giggle. So, well, I think obviously The Star Beast, that has to be the Meep, was it Beep the Meep?
Beep the Meep, yeah, because wasn't it called, I think the comic was called The Star Beast.
I think so. So, it'll be very curious to see. And so, I don't know if...
It's just, I guess, ironically, maybe not ironically, but maybe a pun, but it makes me laugh that David Tennant's possible last outing as Doctor Who, on Doctor Who, could be an episode named The Giggle.
Very true.
It's like, wow, that doesn't sounds very anticlimactic.
Mm-hmm. What did you guys think of the trailer? Did you watch it? I know, Mike, you're not watching the trailer, so did you watch it?
Did you watch it?
Is that the one that was like really short?
It was it just showed the titles of it. And
it showed the titles and a few little scenes.
I think I did, but I don't think I remember seeing Neil Patrick Harris in a tux and Doctor and Donna running around, and that's about all I saw.
Okay, so
all I can remember anyway.
I mean, we saw him dancing with Neil Patrick Harris because, as we all know, the Doctor dances.
Of course he does. So we also got
that one,
basically an ET type scene with Beep and hiding with the toys, and literally Donna pokes him in the eye and it moves, and she's like, "Oh my God, what is that?" Typical.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm, exactly. So,
as only Catherine Tate can.
Oh,
yes, yeah. She's great at reaction shots.
She has some of the best reactions. So yeah, it was interesting, and you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing it, and we don't have dates yet. All we know is November 2023, but that's it.
Yeah,
of course.
So
I mean that's typical.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure we'll get other trailers as it gets closer.
Oh, and, sure. Especially once Disney really starts taking over and promoting it.
Because
there was very little information in this trailer.
Yeah, I have to say I was wrong about something. It happens every once in a while. It happens every once in a while. I thought for sure when HBO Max turned to Max that the Doctor Who content would disappear. Nope. But this is day one of Max as we're recording this, and this afternoon I pulled up the episode and watched it. I didn't have to break open my DVD set. So as of right now, Max is still showing Doctor Who, at least quote unquote new Who. So how long that'll last, we have no idea.
It'll be very interesting because that was one of the things I was going to bring up when we were discussing the episode, was that Max has Doctor Who still, and they haven't made the transition to Disney Plus yet. So I don't know if Disney is waiting till November to start it or what. We don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Nobody said anything, and I don't know. Maybe there's some contract with Max that they have to, wait out before they can switch over, but they have not told us anything.
They might wait till the end of the month.
That's so unlike them.
I know.
to not reveal things like that. I mean,
usually they're so informative about dates.
They're usually so transparent.
It was funny too, because when you open the HBO app on the TV, it automatically switched over to Max, and it was interesting because we were like, oh look, HGTV, Discovery, Cooking Channel, all this stuff is now on Max. I'm not going to watch one thing of it. So.
Yeah, I'm not interested in any of it.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
they double the content, yet half of it is like means nothing to me.
Right.
So it's like, yeah.
It was not the most exciting debut.
I am not all of a sudden going to start watching Guy Fieri or start watching, the Property Brothers or House Hunters or something all of a sudden. Maybe I'll start going back to watch Mythbusters if they still have that. But, But
I did not see that one added, but that would be cool. Yes. Yeah. God forbid they actually put on programs that we want to watch.
Oh, of course.
I mean, there's a lot. Like if you're into sharks, lots of programming for you.
Oh, Shark Week is going to be your time. Definitely. And then you could have just switched. You don't even have to switch, and you can watch the Meg. So it's even perfect.
It's just all sharks all the time.
All sharks all the time. Yes.
So awesome, folks. Other Doctor Who news, we have a couple new Doctor Who books. The first one we were going to talk about is by this new author. His name is Fraser Hines. And,
I wonder who that is. Never heard of him.
He's doing Evil of the Daleks, which I thought there already was a novelization of it. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, they're doing a novelization of one of the missing ones, but this isn't missing. So I was like, it would have, I don't know. I don't want to diss the book before it even comes out or whatever, but I'm like, I would be more excited if Fraser Hines was giving us a novelization of the Highlanders. I would be all over that.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting they chose Evil of the Daleks. Like, I can't quite figure out why.
Yeah. I mean, Fraser's not a new author. He's written before. So this is not something that is beyond him, but it is kind of an odd thing.
It is.
So hopefully this means more
too,
will come.
because, there's the Target novelization. I had it as a kid, when I had all the Target books. But, and it's interesting, too, because isn't Evil of the Daleks one that we reviewed fairly recently when they came out with the animated, version of it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, I was under the assumption that some of it was missing, but you're right. I think it's because, it was animated. We saw it. So, some of it is missing. But, yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird that, it is just odd. Like I said, I wish, I think I'm curious about this. But like I said, I'd be really excited if this was the Highlander.
Oh, of course. Because, it's a personal story for him and everything.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very personal. And, who better? Like, to write that novelization. So, So I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but I just was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
This is weird.
It feels like it kind of came out of nowhere. Was a
typical
interesting choice, but okay.
Yeah, but this is as you said, this is an official BBC book. It's not
it's not a Target book or something like that.
No.
So interesting. And then there's been reports that there's going to be 6 more Doctor Who books coming out in October.
Yes, it's official, and it's for the 60th anniversary, and they're going to do, each book represents a decade, and there will be 6 books in October 23rd, and I have not heard of any of these authors except for the first one, who was Jacqueline Rayner, who wrote a couple episodes back in the 10th Doctor era. So, but it's 6 different doctors, 6 different decades, and actually they they sound kind of interesting. They do already have the blurbs up for each of them, and it's always exciting to get new tie-in content for an anniversary. So, good on you, BBC. They're official BBC books. So. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they are doing some extra content for the 60th.
Because I remember I had heard about them. It's going to be mostly the new Doctors and then a Tom Baker story.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 that
there's the first Doctor.
Right.
That's right.
I was going to say that each cover that they've released has, I don't know if these are actually going to be the covers that are on the books, but it's got a sort of a silhouette of one of the Doctors, and it looks like it goes the first Doctor, and then I think that's Peter Capaldi, and then Tom Baker, David Tennant.
I think it's Christopher Eccleston.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I was like,
it's a little hard to tell.
Yeah,
on some of them.
And then is that Jodie at the end?
I think that's Jodie. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. With all that hair, I was like, "Is that Matt?" No, Jodie.
Yeah, it took me a second, but I'm pretty sure it's Jodie.
So odd assortment of doctors that are chosen, but these are interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of all over the place, the doctors they chose, but hopefully they'll have done a good job. I have found the books to be kind of up and down. Some of them are really good and some of them are really not.
Mm-hmm. It's been a long time since I've read an original Doctor Who novel. So
I read a few back. Well, I read a lot of the older ones and I've read a few of the newer ones. But yeah, it's been a while for me too.
The last original one I read was the Family of Blood one that they did.
Oh wow, that was a long time
now. Yeah,
I have that one, but I love that episode so much, but I haven't read the original story. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, I think the last one I read was I had it and I just lost it. All the mention of Family of Blood, I was like, oh yeah. All right, Mary, you better go because I can't remember what.
All right. Well, the last one I read was the River Song.
Yes, one. Right. That's what I was thinking.
Malone,
yeah, yes. The Melody Malone one.
I did read that one too. Sorry. So
I haven't read. I read the Melody Malone one, but I haven't read the one that she wrote yet.
Yeah, I haven't read. I've got it, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. So the one I haven't read the one written by Alex Kingston yet, but I read the one written by I can't remember who it was now.
Justin Richards.
Justin Richards. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. My favorite.
Our favorite.
Your favorite guy.
Sorry.
As we say, as Mikey G so succinctly pointed out, the Chris Chibnall of the books.
Wow. Yeah. We were talking about that beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah. There's been so many.
Who had 18 minutes into the podcast that we brought up Chibnall. So there you go.
Yeah, but see, we weren't disparaging him. We were disparaging Justin Richards. So.
I think we were disparaging both, Mary. We were equal opportunity disparagers there. At least I will take credit for disparaging. Yeah, so
well, it's not a real episode until we disparage Chris Chibnall.
Right. But no, I mean, unfortunately, I have to say I haven't read a lot by Justin, but the ones I have been really uneven.
They just haven't been great.
And he's really prolific as far as Doctor Who novels. Which is so strange. But I will admit that if his name is on it, I'm not
less enthusiastic.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, oh, he's not doing one of these 6. So
yeah, I'm surprised because usually he is.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like they've got different people doing these. So it should be interesting. I don't know. It depends on what we want to do if we want to cover anything like this, because it's been a while since we've done a novel, if at all.
I don't think we've ever have.
Except for, we kind of did when we did Shada, right? Because we read the novelization.
Oh, that's right, we did. Yeah, and we read the novelization. We watched
we watched it, listened to it.
The cartoon.
Watched it, listened to it, and read it. So, yeah. So I think that's the last time that we did one on the book, on the show. Yeah. Well, we don't do too many comics either, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about it. We have all this material we can cover before we have to get down to Trial of the Time Lord. So that's great.
Oh, we have years and years.
Yes. So. I think we could probably drag it out for the next 100 years if we really wanted to.
Class before I watch Trial.
Wow.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Well, then there's even Class Big Finish you can listen to beforehand.
You know what? We might get desperate enough to do it. Well, so we'll have to wait and see.
And for those people listening, we really do like Doctor Who.
We love Doctor Who.
we really do. Yeah.
No, honestly, we do.
We do. But I think, yeah. Well, stay tuned. We might be gushing in a few minutes.
Exactly. Speaking of that, we want to hear from you guys at home. Please feedback at ourstationwho.com. And if this is your first time listening to us, we do love Doctor Who. We really, really do. And if you are a first time listener, thank you. Let's take a quick break and we'll be back in a moment.
I'm Gina Shock from the Go-Go's, fabulous drummer of the Go-Go's.
Hi, this is Tony Levin of King Crimson.
Hi, this is David Fisher for the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp.
Hi, this is Richard Evans. I am the author of Listening to the Music the Machines Make.
Hi, this is Teresa Kariakis, punk rock photographer.
Hi, I'm Tom Beaujour, author of Nothing But a Good Time, and you are listening to Modern Musicology.
Modern Musicology.
Modern Musicology.
You're listening to Modern Musicology, so, pay attention. You might learn something.
Welcome back to Our Station Who. We're going back to the year. Ready for this, folks? We are going back to the wild year of 2008. God, I can't believe it's that long already.
Wow, that was a wild year.
Yeah.
We went into a big recession that year.
Exactly. That's 15 years ago.
I think everybody I knew got laid off that year at one time or another.
I think I did that year too. So thanks, Chibnall. No. No. It was interesting. It was an interesting year for Doctor Who because we had the returning Donna Noble as, because she was first introduced in The Runaway Bride, and then, then we brought in Martha, and we had the season with her, and then now we have the season with Donna as the companion, and this was an amazing season. I love this season. It's one of my favorite Tennant seasons.
Yeah, we've got Billy popping up every other episode too.
Yes, I know.
I couldn't remember. I was like, is she going to be in this one? I thought at the end maybe we'd see her like around the corner or something, and I was like, oh, not yet.
Not yet. No.
No. We get Martha.
We get Martha though, because she started traveling again with the Doctor in the last episode, because that was the Santaran story.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that was the Poison Sky, I think was the one before that.
Yeah, it's the Poison Sky.
Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because this was a fun episode. And I think I said at the beginning of the show, I haven't seen this one since it first aired back in 2008. And at the time, of course, I think they were showing it like a year later here on Syfy at the time, because I know I didn't see it until I got the Blu-rays, or actually DVDs at the time. So it was interesting to see, and it was fun. This one moved very quickly for me. It didn't slow down. And
very fast.
It just flew. The 42 minutes was like, boom, it's done. It's like, what? And from the very first scene and everything, and you got introduced to Jenny, and who is the Doctor's daughter, wife.
No, not wife.
Not yet.
No. Not ever.
Ever.
It's the actor's wife.
Yes.
Not to mention, she's the daughter of a former Doctor. It's
very Doctor Who.
Yes, it is really very Doctor Who. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. But this was my introduction to Georgia. I don't think I'd seen her before.
I saw her after this in Merlin when I watched that series.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen her in anything else actually since this. So,
yeah, if you're, I highly recommend you watch Staged because she's great in that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So yeah, this is the 4th season, 6th episode, and it is a ton of fun. It is interesting. And I love the casting in this. You had King Arthur as the bad guy in this from Excalibur. This was just awesome. It was really, Nigel Terry was awesome in this episode. And it's interesting because you come into the impression that this war has been going on for generations. And technically it has.
Yeah, it has. They're just really short generations.
Yeah, very short. Yeah.
And I loved how it was Donna that figured out how long the war had been going on for.
Oh, that was awesome that she was the one who was paying attention to that throughout the whole episode. And you really don't know where it's going. And then she figures it out in the end. That I love that they gave Donna that to do. Yeah. I'm not sure why Martha's even there.
Martha's storyline is weird because as a Martha fan, I always love seeing Freema return to the role, except when she's with somebody else. Which I think they hint at the end of this one.
She was engaged to the guy from the season before.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
So
that.
he who must not be named is not.
No, thank God.
Yet.
Thank goodness. Okay. So we can move on from that. But as much as I like seeing her, right away within the first 5 minutes, she's the screaming companion, right? She's like, and she screams well, but it's like really, she hasn't learned to defend herself at all. Come on, give her something. And then she kind of gets out of it, and then she does pretty well until she accidentally gets one of the hind killed, or the hath killed, and I'm like, I kept hoping he was going to pop back, but he doesn't, and I'm like, this is really horrible. Like, why did they do this to her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was really no reason for it either. They just want to torture Martha.
Yeah, she just shows up at the end to do nothing, to just, sort of just stand there and gawk. And I was like, man, this is not a good use of Freema's talent, and not a good use of the Martha character. So I did not remember that from watching it this time. I think at the time when I watched it, I was just so happy to have her back. Because she's one of my favorites, and watching it this time, I was like, man, she is not used very well at all.
No, not at all.
No, there's no reason for her to be there.
And why didn't she? She couldn't reach the hath. Well,
she doesn't even try.
No, she doesn't.
She just stands there and stares at him.
She stares at it as he's sinking. Why not stick a leg out there? Oh my
something.
God. Yeah, exactly. And
to be fair, he went down pretty fast. He went down faster than she was going. Yeah. I guess maybe because she was. That's why I thought he was going to be okay. I thought he was going in and he was going to pop out somewhere else.
Well, also I thought, maybe he can just breathe in there.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, it is kind of liquidy. Maybe he's fine. But yeah, that's it. They just needlessly put her through not good stuff. So at the end, she doesn't even help really like the hath understand what the doctor's doing. Like, it's just, she has no purpose there at the end, and it's just in the third act, and not really good use.
I don't disagree with you there.
In the beginning where they kind of explain where Jenny comes from, it happens so fast, and you have to play catch up with like how was she created? What was going on there? And it's really, I found it really confusing, and not really sure what was going on until, I don't know, midway through the episode or whatever, when there's a chance to breathe a little bit, and that's the only real time we get. Because this story moves. They're trying to tell, way too big of a story in just a short amount of time here.
Yeah, they do cram a lot.
They take a lot of shortcuts.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm not like the whole Martha thing. I think probably they could have done without.
Oh yeah.
But that I know they were trying to build up sympathy for the Hath, but it didn't really work because they didn't have enough time.
No, they were cool looking though. I give them that.
I
like the design of them.
Amazing.
Yeah, the production design was really good in this.
Yeah. I mean, usually,
did they ever say what they were? Were they the actual creatures from the planet, or
no? They came with the spaceship.
Yeah,
it was the Hath and the humans, and it was like a joint venture.
Right.
But then the mission commander dies, and they start fighting each other for power.
Yeah, that wasn't really explained very well either.
Yeah, they did not dwell on that. It was just sort of, again, crammed in at the end.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, it didn't make sense.
No. Well, I found, I mean, it's cool they gave Donna like a key to figuring stuff out. But to be honest with you, I didn't think that made any sense either. I was like, oh, well, we just happened to put a date on everything. Like after we make it, it's like, really, that's done. Like who does that?
Well, humans do that actually. I mean, often there's like a cornerstone where they stamp a date when they build a building.
Yeah, I was going to say that didn't surprise me at all. That was the least confusing of this episode. Because it's like, they've only been there for 7 days in the generations and everything. And it's basically the game Telephone, where, you have one story and over time things degrade. And that's what was the story over the generations. It degraded the story and everything. And, for something that was only 7 days old, like Donna said, it was like the place was a wreck, and the doctor had to correct her and said, no, it wasn't used yet. It was, waiting to be used.
Yeah. It just the time frame though, that to construct that, if they did do that, and then the generations that, I mean, I get it. It's compressed, but it's still, I mean, I don't know. In these hands, it didn't work for me.
Okay.
Like, I just thought those two things, like, yeah, it's kind of a neat concept, but it's not really playing out that it makes any sort of sense to me.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
I mean, plot wise, I agree with you. There were a lot of problems with it, but I kind of hand waved that away because I really like the interaction between Jenny and the doctor and Donna.
That's the key.
That part was really fun.
That's the key to this. I mean, it's called The Doctor's Daughter. It's not called like Hath and Hath Not or something, right? It's called like The Doctor's. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So I mean, that's the key to this, and that him having a daughter, bringing up the fact that he's had family in the past and what's happened to them. And you get to see David really just play around like he's so good with these emotions, these different emotions of guilt and anger and loss and regret. It's just like, I mean, he just does it all like with his face in the matter of like seconds. And you follow along so well. It's just such an amazing performance by him.
Well, the look on his face when he saw that she had two hearts.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
Catherine Tate's really good too, because when he tells her that, the look on her face, her face just falls.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I had a daughter, and I don't want to go through this again. And it was just the look on her face was just the emotion. It was like, I didn't know. And it's like, of course, I didn't tell you, type thing.
Well, yeah, that exchange where she said, doctor, you talk a lot, but you don't say anything. And he's like, I know. Like he's well aware.
Yeah.
So
Adric said the same thing to him. That's okay. So.
And then he lets Adric die.
Exactly.
which happens to the daughter here. So
exactly. How about that?
So my understanding was that, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but that Stephen Moffat, who was getting close to taking over, right, was the one who said, "Don't kill her."
Yes.
Yes.
And because and yet he never uses her like during his run.
She does come back in Big Finish.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
Many years later. Many years later.
I do kind of wonder if he had plans and, you know, something didn't work out. Maybe they couldn't get Georgia or something or whatever. But it would have been an interesting dynamic to see Georgia with another doctor.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that.
I wouldn't mind seeing her back again either, like in the 60th anniversary or such.
Yeah.
It'd be
She would have been great with Peter.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she would have been, yeah.
So it was interesting. Overall, did you guys enjoy the storyline with this? About, you know, the two warring factions and that they were doing clone armies and such?
It's just an excuse. Like, it really just feels like, to me, the story doesn't sell this. It's all on the performances from Georgia, David, and Catherine. Freema does a good job too, but she's not given.
She's just not given anything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Freema's good. I mean, she does what she's asked to do and she does it pretty well, but the character arc that they put her in is just dumb.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I enjoyed this episode. I mean, I'll agree. There are lots of problems with the story, but I can hand wave it away because the performances are so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the characterization between the three, especially the Dr. Donna and Jenny, is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the key to me. That's the key difference between really TV and movies. Movies, I think you really have to have a great structure story-wise and plot, or else it doesn't really work. But with TV, you can really focus on the characters. And if the story is weak, as long as the characters are strong and the characterizations and we learn something and we experience emotions with those characters, it really works well. And this is a prime example of that for me.
Yeah. I mean, the Cobb thing, the basically almost to the point of insanity military commander.
Right.
That's like such an old trope, you know, especially in Doctor Who, you see that over and over and over again.
But to Mike's point, in the hands of Nigel Terry, it's interesting.
Oh, he was good. Yeah. Again, that's another one where the performance outshone, you know, the script.
Yeah. The actor's taking what he's given and really adding to it. I mean, Nigel is like, yeah, you said, Mike, you said King Arthur, but I think of him as like Prince John, because he plays Prince John in Lion in Winter in 1968, the one with Anthony Hopkins and Catherine Hepburn, Peter O'Toole. Yeah, he's in that. That's one of my favorite movies. And I like Excalibur too, so don't get me wrong. Excalibur is one of my favorite movies too, so he's great in all of those. And he's good in here too, but he adds the depth. There's no depth on the paper. I thought the script
it's all performance.
Because they're, I mean, I don't know. They're all they seem to be all programmed, right? And they're sort of one note.
Oh, very much so. And that's, you know, even the doctor's daughter at first was that way, you know, that she was born, created, whatever you want to call it, with, you know, full military, you know, knowledge.
That she can do gymnastic moves.
Yeah. That was pretty amazing, actually.
That was really Georgia. No, just kidding. It wasn't. I don't think it really was.
Yeah, I really don't think it was.
That's when David fell in love.
That's what did it for him.
Whoa, look at her move.
That's awesome. That is awesome. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And, you know, I think it was an enjoyable story. I wouldn't recommend this as a first episode for somebody to watch.
No, I think they'd be so confused.
Yeah. They don't really explain the companions at all or the relationship there or anything. Although once again, they do go out of their way multiple times to say that the Doctor and Donna are not a couple. Like they say that like about.
They really want you to know.
They really pound that in. I was like, man,
make a point of it.
It's like we get it.
Exactly. I'd forgotten that. They really just are like, nope, not this time.
Nope.
Because I will say too, at the end, it is kind of a touching scene where the Doctor says goodbye to Martha again. And we know it's funny because they think it's the last time. It's like, no, you're going to say goodbye again and again.
Twice.
like Twice. 2 more times, I think, at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like she's still, I think that scene's really well too. David handles it really well. And I think Freema does really well too, where you can still see there's that hint where she's still got a little bit of a crush on him. And I like that. I think it's pretty cool.
I could see that.
I hate that.
I know. And I get it. That she was mostly defined by the torch she carried that season. And I'm not a big fan of that either, but I think, like I said, she worked with it. And I'm glad they at least acknowledge it because it does exist.
And they play the scene well. I mean, they play the scene really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want to disparage Martha or Freema in this episode because she's good. She's doing the best she can with what she's given. It's just kind of a bad storyline where that doesn't go anywhere and that doesn't give her anything to do really.
Yeah, she's the one who really sells it when the half sinks and dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And she carries that for pretty much the rest of the episode, that weight on her, but they never do anything with it. And that's unfortunate.
No.
It was interesting. It truly was interesting. The look on her face when the half died, it was heartbreaking and everything. And she was literally through the rest of the episode, like you said, Mike, she was very shell-shocked almost. And Freema carried that really, really well.
And maybe that was their way of, at the end when she's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And because Donna was like, hey, come on, join us. And she's like, nope, I'm
I've had it.
That was enough for me. One sinking half, done.
You gave me a bad storyline, and then you killed the guy. So.
Exactly. My only friend in the episode you killed. So yeah, I'm done. Mm-hmm. You guys don't need me.
You don't need me. Nope. It's interesting. It is very sad that, she had to go through that. And I love because, Donna says, I can't see not ever doing this and everything when she was talking to Martha. And Martha was like, just wait for 4 more episodes, dude.
Let me ask you this. So we know for sure, obviously, that Donna is going to come back for the 60th.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys, not just for the 60th, but just in general, how open are you guys to either Martha or Jenny returning in some fashion to Doctor Who in some way?
I don't have a problem with that. I'm kind of hoping Freema will show up on the unit spin-off.
Oh yeah, good call.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
And actually, Jenny would work well for that too. That would be interesting.
So yeah, I definitely think she would, I think both of them would be great. I would love to see Jenny come back. I'd like to see, Martha come back. I could see Martha coming back in the 60th or something, even somehow.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if she showed up. Though I'm a little wary of wishing for things like that because then you get a story that has too many characters, too much stuff going on, and then nobody gets to do anything.
Yeah. Kind of like the finale we just saw with Jodie.
Yes, very much like that.
You got that, nostalgia kicks in and that can make a big difference and cover up a lot of mistakes and a lot of errors in the script and other things. But at the end of the day, if they're back, I don't want to just be a nostalgia trip. I want them to do something with them.
Yeah, you want them to be a part of the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I had it in my head, and I don't know where this came from, but I had it in my head. I don't know. I don't think it was a Big Finish thing, but I had it in my head that eventually Jenny ends up with Clara and me.
Do you want to see that?
I don't know if I ever want to see Clara and me again. But they do have a TARDIS. And Jenny is a Time Lord-ish without a TARDIS.
So she can kill both me and...
She can just kill them and take over.
She can kill them and take over the diner. Yeah. No, I didn't mean it that way. But, whatever works,
there's
right?
fanfic of that out there somewhere.
Actually, can me die?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she's immortal, right?
Yeah, she didn't die.
Yeah. No, I mean, can she?
No.
Oh,
so yeah, you could.
Yeah, well, they haven't established it that she can.
Yeah.
It's.
I have no idea why that was in my head. I don't know if I heard it somewhere. It was a comic thing or something. I don't know, but obviously it wasn't something that was mentioned on a show or an episode or canon or anything. But I said, yeah, great. Bring 3 characters together that you have no idea what to do with, and then try to do something with them. That's not a very good way to start things.
Jenny just sends them both out the airlock and takes off.
Wow.
No, all she has to do is send them on a mission to go into the center of the TARDIS or something. And
right. They're never seen again.
They're never seen again. It could work. It totally could work. All right, kids, let's go ahead and rate this one 1 out of 5 TARDISes, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. I'll let Mr. Mike go first this time. Mary went first last time.
Okay. I am going to give this a solid 4. Despite the fact that, on lesser hands, the script is a mess. And, they really don't give Martha much to do anything good anyway. It is fun to see her again. And David and Donna, David and Catherine and Georgia, and Nigel too. And some of the other actors are good too. We didn't point out anybody else, but I mean, it is a solid and it is a fun watch. I mean, I could see myself watching this again. I don't, even though it's got like some, warts and all, I would watch it again. Just because the interplay between the characters is so compelling, because we never do see the Doctor really confront the fact that he's had a family and everything that he's lost. We don't see that very often. So when we do, and how open he is to the idea. And of course, when she dies, it's that all over again. Man, when he picks up, when he picks up that gun and goes after, Cobb, it's like, I mean, I think we all knew he wasn't going to pull the trigger, but damn, the way David sold it, it was like, I think he's going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't blame him if he did. Let's put it that way.
You at least get the feeling that he wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you get a feeling that Martha and Donna would be like, yeah, okay, you can kill him.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
They don't do anything to stop him. Nothing.
Nope.
They don't pull him back at all.
It's the same prop that they had that the Doctor used in his final story, David Tennant's final story. It's the same gun.
Is it?
It is.
Wow.
Funny.
So it's like, wait a minute, I recognize that. It's at least the same model, but I'm sure, knowing the BBC, it's the same prop.
It's probably the same one, yeah.
Okay,
so yeah, 4 for me. I think it's a solid outing, and I would watch it again.
Okay, Mary, you're up.
Let's see. I think I'll give it a. I always like to split hairs. A 3.75. Because it doesn't quite make a 4 for me, because I'm annoyed at the storyline, or the non-storyline that they gave Martha. She just, it was like she was a gimmick. There wasn't any real reason for her to be there, and I think Freema deserves better than that, even though she did great with what little she had. But yeah, I would watch this again, definitely, because the performances are that strong. It overcomes any problems with the story.
I think the word you're looking for is that they chibnalled her.
Yeah, that's exactly the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, okay, I knew it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. All right. For me, I'm going to agree with Mr. Mike. I'm going to go with a solid 4 for this one. It was enjoyable. Like I said, it's been about 15 years since I've watched it. So literally haven't, seen where everything was coming from, or, trying to remember, the storylines around it. And it worked for me. Everything worked on this and everything. Georgia Moffat was great. And I just had to keep on putting out of my mind, that's his wife, dude. That's his wife.
Yeah, when she says like dad or daddy, it's like,
yeah, it's a bit weird.
Story.
That's when it gets creepy.
Although they had not even started dating.
Right, they weren't dating at the time. So yeah, it would be. But normally we watch like 6-parters or 4-parters or whatever. We're like, man, they should have trimmed this down to 2 episodes. I think there's enough content here. They could have made this a 2-parter and really fleshed things out. And because I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more of Jenny. I wanted to see more of the other aliens. I wanted to see more of Martha. I think they could have really had enough material to make this a 2-parter if they wanted to.
Very much so.
Yeah,
I definitely could see that too. It was interesting too, because, I definitely think, there's a whole world there that, I wanted to find out more about, like, what it was all based off of, and, what started the war, the whole thing with that. And it was just interesting and everything. And the whole thing, I kept on thinking when they started the terraforming, search for Spock all over.
That was my first thought too.
Whenever I hear terraforming, I see the Genesis device in action.
Yep.
Exactly. And so it was just like, oh, so the basically the Hath is going to come back as Spock. Got it. There we go. So it was awesome. And folks, if you haven't seen this one in a while, it is worth watching again. So definitely check it out. And hopefully you'll be able to watch it on HBO Max for a
Just Max. Yeah.
Just Max. So I think that is going to wrap up the episode now. And for folks who are interested, on the 10th and 11th of June, we will be appearing live at Concaster Burris in Huntsville, Alabama. And as of right now, it's all 3 of us coming, and it should be a ton of fun. And we have a couple panels scheduled. We don't have exact times yet, so that's why we're not putting anything out there yet. But we'll have a table, and definitely come up. We have some ESW swag that we'll be giving away for if you come up and say, hey, I listened to the show. You'll get a gift. If you don't come up to the table and say, I never listened to the show, you'll get a gift. So it's pretty cool.
Who the hell are you? You get a gift.
You get a gift. We're that kind of people, because we love you guys. We really do. Tell us what you guys thought about this episode. We definitely would love to hear from you guys. Definitely check us out. Feedback at ourstationwho.com. And Mary Ogle, you have anything you want to promote?
Oh, you can find me at maryogle.com or on Etsy at eVision Arts.
And of course, as always, thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you.
And Mr. Mike, we made it through another one.
We did, and as always, it's my pleasure.
Folks, we will see you guys again soon. Check out our website, ourstationwho.com, for older episodes. And we have a great Facebook group if you ever get a chance. And we're up on Twitter, and we're up on, some other social medias. There's so many of them nowadays. It's like I lose track where I post this stuff. So we are everywhere. So wherever you listen to Find Doctor Who podcasts, Our Station Who is there too. So definitely check us out. Until then, my name is Mike Faber. On behalf of the 3 of us, we will see you guys later. Peace, and we are done.
You have been listening to Earth Station Who, a bi-weekly pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talents from across the universe. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individual and are used for entertainment value alone. You subscribe to our podcast up on iTunes, Stitcher, or follow our blog at www.esopodcast.com. You can also follow us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. If you enjoyed the show, please leave feedback up on iTunes.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.